Hey guys, I'm Liz. Welcome to my first vlog ever. It's going to be awesome. So if you're interested, you can find out a little more about me under the author section of the homepage. But I just want to tell you a little bit about how this works with my vlogs. Our first posts as contributors to Booked, Bagged, and Blogged are supposed to be about study abroad since we've all had that experience. So I decided to ask some of my friends and colleagues at the Office of International Programs to help me address a few points of interest that are generally asked about the study abroad process. So we have 5 topics. The first being funny cross-cultural experience. Second is travel music and songs. Third, memorable moment of culture shock. Fourth is something that went wrong and how did you get out of it? And lastly, fifth is just generally one of our favorite parts about studying abroad. If you have any curiosity about international education or travel in general, then I hope this provides some insight for you.
Hi everyone, my name is Cariella Santana. I was fortunate enough to study abroad in Viterbo, Italy for 9 months.
Hi, my name is Ryan Larson. I'm the Assistant Director of the Study Abroad Office at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. I studied abroad for a year in 1998 and 1999 in Costa Rica, and since then I've traveled on every continent except for Antarctica.
My name is Alex Gonzalez. I'm the Administrative Assistant for the UNLV Office of International Programs. As an undergrad at San Diego State, I did a summer abroad in Granada, Spain.
A funny cross-cultural experience that I had when I was abroad was the first time we had a potluck dinner with Americans and Italians alike. The Italian kid was so baffled and kind of confused as how we put all our food on the same plate, because in Italy they don't do that. Every portion of the meal is eaten by itself. It's this whole experience about food and how food should taste. So he was like, we would never do this in an Italian household. We would have our appetizer, our salad or something, and then we'd have our meat portion, and then we'd have our pasta portion. It's a big no-no in Italy.
A funny cross-cultural experience I had was both funny and petrifying at the same time. I was in Ghana in West Africa, in the city of Accra, their capital, and I was in a bed and breakfast type hotel, and it was in the evening and the power had gone out, which is not uncommon in Accra because they rely on hydroelectric power and the water levels were low. It was completely dark. We couldn't see anything. So I ran to my room and I had a little headlamp with me, and I brought it back downstairs and tied it to a post in the kitchen where we were all eating. This young woman, a Ghanaian woman, really thought it was cool and asked what it was. I said, it's a headlamp. So she tried it on. She wanted help taking it off, and so I helped lift it off, and her whole wig came with me. And I had no idea that a young woman would be wearing a wig. And I was holding it petrified, thinking I had really extremely messed up. And then a young man who was cooking the food, he started laughing, and then she started laughing, and then the rest of us were at liberty to start laughing. Thank God. And it ended up being a pretty funny experience.
Cross-cultural experience. When I got there, I made a lot of local friends because they knew the language, and they asked me, oh, so what do you like to eat? And I was like, well, one of my favorite food is tacos. And they're like, tacos? And they all like looked at each other and like whispered. And I was like, what's going on? And they were like, well, tacos means like bad words. I was like, what? Are you serious? They're like, yeah. So in Spain, a taco is like a bad word. And I was like, whoa, like it just like blew my mind away that my favorite food, tacos, are one of my favorite foods, because I have a lot of favorite foods, could mean bad word in the same language.
Right after I arrived, I made some Chinese friends who wanted to take me and a few others out to a couple of their big bar streets. So we went, and having been in China for a few weeks at that point, I realized that a lot of what you can buy are all knockoffs, from cameras to watches, clothes, purses. The list is long. But I didn't realize that their alcohol is also fake. So I go into a bar and I was kind of tired of having Tsingtao, so I ordered a Guinness and I tasted it and it tasted like crap. It was so gross. Later that night, it was getting really late. It was like 4 in the morning and I was ready to go home, but they were being really hospitable and they were like, well, no, let's go get something to eat. So I figured that they were taking us to whatever their Chinese version of drunk morning food is, which I know is bad, but here it's like Roberto's. So I was like, okay, I'll check it out. So we take this long cab ride to this place I've never been before, and we descended these long, narrow steps into some underground restaurant that was really frigid. And out come many bowls, big bowls of hot broth with a big animal foot in the middle of it. I don't even know what kind of animal it was that foot belonged to because my Chinese was so crappy that I didn't even get what animal it was. I tried eating it and I took a spoonful of the broth, and I had realized just before this experience that I'm very allergic to MSG, and the Chinese use MSG a lot. So I take a spoonful of this, and I literally consumed like a little pebble of MSG. It was so gross. So, needless to say, the next day, after getting home really late, after having eaten so much MSG with the side of pig foot, or I don't know, whatever foot, I was just, oh, and fake Guinness, I was just feeling gross. I learned a lot from that experience as to what to and not to do in nights out in China.